Hello, I'm Floyd, and welcome to World of Tanks. Today we're in the FV4202, which is the Tier 10 medium British. I've said that all backwards, isn't it? That doesn't feel, yeah. Anyway, we're in the Tier 10 British medium. This has been a great line, these tanks. I've loved, right from the Cromwell, Comet, Centurion. I've just loved them all the way up. From the Comet onwards, they seem to be driving, in my opinion, a similar fashion. You've got a nice sturdy turret, but a very soft hull, relatively decent on speed. I mean, this one does 40 kilometres an hour. Its turn is 50, but then you just watch the way you flick the button, and it really does. It just turns really well. If you as well, you'd want a bit more speed, but you know what, you get 40, and that's pretty much what it sticks to. But it seems to manage to drag itself up the hill with its 110 horsepower engine fairly easily. Okay, getting straight into the game. I've been tracked and I'm being shot from the left, but I haven't realised that yet. I think I'm getting shot from the right. So once I wake up, oh, there we go. It's an AMX. He's pretty much had a chance to unload his entire clip on me before I've got the shot on him. He's now a one-shot kill, but they've not finished with me yet. Okay, so we go. Oh, and there it is. There's the object. I didn't even know he was there. So, straight off the bat, half asleep, and I'm going to have to show him. Yeah, he hits my track, luckily enough. If he put HE in there, that would have probably been the end of me. They have got RT, so a little bit worried about just sitting there. The FV has come round to me rescue. And we've got an AMX working his way across as well, and I should be able to get a shot on that object. There we go. So we'll get him out, a bit of a Vengi on him, and hopefully we'll get a little bit on the AMX a bit later as well. So now the game is, we're going to be sniping. Our brawling days for this particular game are over. But then we haven't got the armour to do that anyway. The hull armour is only 121, 51 at the sides, 32 at the rear. A bit more on the turret. You've got 196 front, 196 sides, 35 at the rear. And it's angled quite nicely as well. But I find it doesn't bounce half as much, or ricochet half as much as the previous two tanks, the 9 and 10. Well, the 9 and 10, the 9 and 8. The 8 bounces an awful lot. I've bounced IS7s on the Centurion one. Not quite so much on the 7 one, but the Tier 9 medium. But it does seem to do quite well. And this one does bounce the odd. If they're looking up at you, I'm all backwards this morning. If they're looking up at you, no, I got that right. If they're looking up at you, you're looking down at them. You can tend to bounce a few, but if you're sort of straight on for some reason, maybe it's the way the heights of the tanks are. It just doesn't seem to work quite as well. The pen on the guns this is the interesting bit, and where you tend to get branded a gold noob as well. Penetration on the gun is 268, but that's firing APCR. That's standard on this tank. It is a lot of tanks. There are a few tanks out there. There's a couple of scouts, say the 7-1 and the Bulldog, and a few others that fire APCR as standard. They're not premium or gold rounds, because their gold rounds are in actual fact heat, which is a large variation on, well, it's like HE with massive penetration, and that's what this has. So the penetration on the APCR is 168 with an average damage of 390. The heat is 210 penetration with an average damage of 480. If you're just going to fire standard HE, you'll get 110 penetration again with 480 damage, average damage. So that's the difference in the way the ammo's set up. But you will get called a gold noob an awful lot. All you're doing is firing standard ammunition. But that generally shows that there's someone who doesn't really know the tanks, or probably hasn't done them yet, or even got to that part that some of the tiers, it's generally the higher tiers, apart from the lights, who are like from say 7 onwards, that fire APCR. It's not all of them, mind, but there's a few of them that do. they haven't got there yet, or they just don't know, or haven't paid much attention to what, if they have the tank, what they're firing. The dispersion on this is pretty good. It's 0.32 with a 2.1 aim time, which again is just like, it's pretty standard on these British tanks. I've found that they're very, very accurate, and the dispersion is pretty nice as well. It's not. I mean, you could always want it to be better. Of course you do. I want it to be faster. I want it to have more armour. I want it to have more average damage, and the average and all that's pretty damn good as it is. But that's just being greedy. That's just me. Signal range is around 450, and the standard view range is 410, so that's pretty good as well. I'm guessing that when it says that on the stat, that may well include 100% crew. Now I do have 100% crew, and I have the Brothers in Arms and vents as well. So the view range for this has actually gone beyond that. I can't tell you what the actual is at the moment. I haven't got it. I can tell you what the reload for my actual is, a 7.10 seconds. So, but you're still going to stick it under 8, even if you're just running 100% crew. You may get towards the higher end of that, or towards the 8 seconds if you're running a basic crew. Which at this, when you get to tier 10, just bump a crew up. It's a lot easier, I find, to train your crews at the tier 5s and that, and then move them up into the higher tiers once you get them to a reasonable level. Anyway, that's just generally what I do. So we've got a few kills in this game. All right, we've been doing a little bit of sniping. We took a massive beating early on. So the gun, like I say, the tank doesn't take damage well, doesn't like it. But we're still up, we're still running, and we still have a handful of hit points. So it's all good when we just got to finish off that last tank, and then we can move on to the next game. So it's the ISA up. Oh, there's still another 2 up actually. I don't know. It's not going well for me this morning. I probably need to have another coffee. There we go. Now we're down to one tank, and he's gone. So that's pretty cool. We like that. Let's move on. Oh, okay. So we only got enough to get a class 2. We've got a couple of other medals. 3k damage. We've got 13 shots, 12 hits, only 10 pens. With 3k damage. But we received 7 hits, but we pounced 3 of them. I don't remember that. I don't remember bouncing anything.